Hey, what's going on? Hey, you're a little rusty. Let me guess. Your connection bad.
My computer just froze.
Oh man. It's
It
all good.
completely, it completely froze up on me. So I was just like, okay, this what we doing? Welcome back. Happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday. What's going on, MK? Let's talk about something. What you got going on your channel? I'm ready.
Hold on. I'm trying to I'm trying to pin your thing to the top so people can join your channel.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's my charity work I do every Thursday.
I sure appreciate you. I need them little coins.
Okay. Yeah, so today, if you saw the flyer, we're talking about taxes. I asked the question. How you feeling about them? You nervous? You're energized, you ready to get your money, you're frustrated. How everybody feeling about it? I just wanted to put that out there and see where everybody's head was at. With this being the last week of the month, I know them W-2s then hit the mailbox.
Right.
Uh, with 1099, shoot, I ain't never got but one 1099. When do
Okay.
they come?
Yeah, I got mine 2 days ago.
Okay, so it's the same thing. They come out by January 30th,
Right.
31st, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I now I've been in business, doing this business for almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in November, and I have gotten a 1099 only one time.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, I aim for a 1099, but sometimes it. No, I take that back. I'm lying. I got a 1099 when I was doing my contract work too. So yeah, that's a lie. All right, so I had to come back and check my own. So I'm like, wait a minute now. Yeah. Well, I didn't have one this year. So, that just means I got to work harder next year
That's
because
right.
what are the two things it takes to have a business?
Ooh, an attempt to make a profit and proper record keeping.
And when I tell you I attempt to make a profit every time I hit that live button,
Right,
that's
right.
my attempt. So
I like it.
how you feeling about it? Give me first of all, hi everybody. If this is your first time here, this is Melissa King and Tony Clopper. We are both home-based business owners with a company called My Econ. Uh, we teach financial education. Tonight we talking about taxes. Sometimes we talk about credit. Sometimes we talk about whatever financial stuff that's on the horizon. And right now, with this being the first of the year, what's on the horizon, the biggest thing is taxes.
Taxes.
So
Yep.
that's what we're talking about. So Tony, while I try to restart this desktop,
Okay.
give me an idea of what tax time feels like for you now versus before you had a business.
Okay.
What were
So
your emotions?
okay, I ain't gonna lie. I cannot remember now time that I ain't had some type of business, right? Because it's been
Okay,
in my nature. But it
okay,
was some things that I did not know, especially when you go to a tax preparer. You sitting in front of them, they get the hitting in them buttons and asking you a few little questions, and then you just hoping and praying that you're gonna get some money back. But now I understand, and I'm feeling really confident about how these taxes work because I know I must lower my taxable income. And there's some things that me and Melissa learned from My Econ about how to lower our taxes, and it's from the money that we already spending. Oh man, this is getting good. I'm telling y'all, this is when the light bulb came on for me. Is when I realized that I don't have to be scared and afraid when it's time to do them taxes because I already got a good idea. That's what they call it, tax planning. When you
yeah.
understand why and how you're gonna have to pay, if you're gonna have to owe or you're gonna get a refund. Hey, I done took all the guesswork out. Our company taught us some information that most people don't know, and that's why we're on here today to kind of share some tips on how you can not be afraid or upset or scared or whatever the case may be. But I'm just happy as I can be.
So you good with everything these days.
I'm good.
Hold on.
Okay, so I guess she still ain't got her dinosaur. Now, last year, I heard my partner right here say that she was gonna get her a new laptop, which we already know is a tax deductible expense. And what we want to know, the listeners out there want to know, why is it that you ain't got a new laptop right now, a new computer? Well, we want to know that.
Because I have a severe case of procrastination.
Okay, I get that.
I do. I'm the type of person, if I don't do it immediately, when I tell you I'm gonna get one, I need to be in the store picking out what I'm gonna get, or on the computer about to press go to checkout. Otherwise, as soon as we stop talking, it's like gone to the atmosphere. And when I remember it again, when this slow ass computer start acting up.
Right. You like, man, I need to get me another computer. Y'all done heard it 1,000 times. I done heard it 1,000 times.
You probably gonna hear it 1,000 more. Hey, Jessica Hicks, it's good to see you. We got Jessica Hicks in here from the YouTube. So welcome. Okay, so all right. So you talked about, see, Tony and I are from different circumstances. Like he said, he's always been an entrepreneur. He's always had some kind of business. I myself, not so much. See, I mostly have stuck to doing my 9 to 5 my whole life. But I will be honest. I went to school. My degree is in health information management. So my background is healthcare. You ask me something about symptoms and codes and discharge stuff, I can talk. But when you start asking me about money, that was not a part of the HI. Well, I take that back. I was going to say it's not a part of the HIM curriculum. But truth be told, for my degree, I had to take a microeconomics class, a macroeconomics class, and an accounting class. How any of that helped me with taxes? Zero. Didn't help me at all. So, Jessica says she's here for the tax info. You're in the right place, Jessica. Okay. Let me ask you this, Jessica. Are you do you have a home-based business, or are you strictly a 9 to 5, or so we can know how to gear the conversation? Because right now, you are only guest, so you are a special guest.
Oh yeah. Hey, while Melissa was talking, Melissa was saying that she had a degree, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I went to school, couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. One thing I do know is that I didn't want to finish school because they are racking up a bunch of student loan debt. Just wasn't my thing, and I still don't know what I want to do in school. But I don't have no degree in nothing. Okay, I have 0 degree in finances and all of that stuff. But man, one thing I do know I have is good old common sense. I got that.
That's more valuable these days than a degree.
Right.
Because you can have a degree and get a job, but still not be equipped to do it if your common sense ain't right. And I'm just gonna throw out there, you could be president, and I'm gonna leave that alone.
I heard that. I know that. Right.
So don't downplay the fact that you don't have a degree, because like I said, I have one, but because of my field of work, I didn't know the basic stuff people should know about money. So I'm gonna say my feelings. I asked you that for a reason, because I was gonna tell you my feelings before and my feelings now. Before, I went through all different phases. When I first got a job and taxes came up, because so Jessica says she does a 9 to 5 and YouTube. So you're like Jessica. We do 9 to 5 and we do a 1099, because YouTube is a 1099. She said I used to do consulting from my home as well. Okay. So yeah, you right here with us. So like before I started, when I first got a job and I didn't know anything about taxes and how it worked. And when you don't understand something, you don't know how you're gonna feel. I got people in my ear that's saying they get all this money back. Then I got people in my ear over here that's saying, they end up having to pay. I'm slanging tacos at Taco Bell. I don't know what to expect. Right. So I went in there, and most of the time, it's a small job like that. You're not gonna get a lot back, and you're not gonna. So I went from that phase to when I finally got out of school and got a good job, and that W-2, W-4. I signed that piece of paper. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know how it was gonna affect me in taxes, and so I went in hopeful And then, that was when I got my first crushing experience of having to pay back. And I'm like, wait a minute, what did I do? So that was, so then I started getting kind of fickle because I'm like, I hate tax season. They just keep taking, every time I end up owing back and then ain't nothing I can do about it. I don't know how to fix it and blah, 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 blah. So that was then. Then, bling, this glorious business falls in my lap.
Yeah.
That is when I learned that tax time does not have to be a guessing game or I don't know, pacing the floor, sitting there like you in the delivery. Remember back in the day when women was having babies, the men couldn't go back there. Y'all sat out in the waiting room and y'all was waiting on the hill. Was it a boy or girl? That's how I was at the tax office. Like I give her my little piece of paper. I done filled out all the questions she asked about. Do you pay tithes, your tag? The basic stuff that whether you have a business or not, these could be deductions. So I put all that. I don't even know why I'm putting that down. Just writing all that down, and I'm sitting there in the waiting room, waiting on
half line most of the time.
No, I was honest.
You was honest.
I was honest because I was scared. See, I had that kind of look that even though it's plenty of people that claimed other people's kids, did all that stuff, I would be that one person that they make that example out of. They'll probably give me everybody else get a slap on the wrist. I'll probably get the electric chair. So I wasn't gonna play with it.
Right.
I didn't play with that at all. I watched people do it. Well, let me take that back because I don't want to be called to court.
Right.
I heard of people doing it, even though I don't know their names or where they were. But I'm a scary when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not gonna just jump out there. So anyway, so I would sit there and I would wait and she'd give me the news and I'm like, okay. So then I thought once I had my child, because I was a late bloomer, I ain't have my baby till I was almost 36. So I'm like, now the windfall finna come in. I'm finna be rich.
Rich.
Still didn't know how taxes work. You all know that just for me thinking.
Hey, what's one of the things that most tax preparers tell you to do? You say, "Oh, they tearing you up in taxes." They tell you two things. Most tax preparers will tell you two things.
Number one. Let me tell Jessica. Jessica, do you know the answer? What are the two things that your tax preparer would tell you to do to improve your tax refund?
Right. Yeah.
Boom, bang. Okay, so Jessica might have tuned us out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the two things that they say. Number one, buy a house. Number two, have a baby.
Have a baby. Hey, I remember that. I'm talking about some 10 years ago, and I was like, we ain't got none of that. So what we gonna do now? So I was like, wow.
Oh, Jessica got a good tax person. She ain't had no clue what we were talking about. And then she said that, praise the Lord, her tax person tells her a lot. So yeah, you lucked out because some of us, we didn't get good advice on, because that was my question. Anytime I had to pay back, my question is, how can I prevent this? And, short of having them to take more money out of my check, which I ended up doing that, but it's not, I felt like that was just a Band-Aid for the problem. That's not going to fix the problem.
Right.
You taking more of my money. But then at the same time, I'm saying the same thing. I didn't understand how taxes work.
Right.
So, let's see. We got to treat our guest special now. She the special guest today. So my mom just told me to have a child with my ex so she could get grandkids. Well, see, her reasoning is different,
That's funny.
The tax people would tell you to do this because they felt like that was a good way to get a deduction. And I didn't even understand. Did you know why they were telling you to do that, Tony? Because I didn't understand that part.
Yeah, talking about to have a kid because of the
to buy a house.
To buy a house, because you're gonna get the tax breaks from it. You pay the interest paid on mortgage.
Nobody explained what kind of tax breaks you get, and to make it worth me to go out and okay, so to keep from paying back $2,000, I'm gonna go out and buy $100,000 house.
Right,
That
and the
don't
child
sound right.
tax credit. You got to buy diapers and Pampers, and then
Yeah.
you got the daycare and all that. You just seem like you just put more money onto the issue that I ain't got.
Right. I'm like, so now to keep from paying back $2,000, I'm gonna go get a mortgage.
$100,000.
It wasn't making no sense to me, and that's the thing.
Right.
She never explained it. You know, I'm not dogging my tax person because
right.
She did what she was supposed to do. I just needed more information. So when Tony came along, let me tell you, Jessica, Tony and I are from the same area, so we grew up together and everything. And he came, you know, he was always on social media talking about different ventures that he was doing. So I just thought this was just another one of them. So he comes on me talking about he's cash flowing money, and I did this, and then you know when he upped his ranks, and I'm like, I don't remember Tony being no financial whiz.
Wait a minute now. Look here, I done heard this story a couple of times, and I'm telling you, almost embarrassing me in front of thousands of people. You know, I ain't never said it. I never said I was a tax professor. Hey, I come in and say this, full disclosure. I'm not a tax person. I'm not a financial advisor, but my common sense say if wealthy people doing this, Tony, you can do it too. That's what I said. That's all I'm saying. That's all
the perspective I'm speaking from.
Okay, from your perspective.
What I remember from school.
Oh, okay. See, and you saying what people gonna judge you from your past, and that's okay. That's biblical. That's biblical. They judge Jesus. He turned water into wine. He raised the dead. He people going blind, and he all of that stuff. And I ain't putting myself up next to Jesus, but it's biblical that people gonna judge you from your past. I'm gonna let you go and finish your story.
Now that he done jumped in there and nickel flame. So I'm not saying that to put Tony down. What I'm saying is usually when you hear people talking like that, they have, you know, a history of like E.F. Hutton or
I get it.
You know, so like I'm feeling like, you know, and then when him talking about money, I knew he had a good job. Of course, you got some money.
Right.
So I'm looking at it from that perspective. So, you know, I kept following him, and then finally it hit me. Hey, Sheila E. You from YouTube. Hey, Sheila E. Quiet Storm. Thank you for coming over. We talking about taxes, Sheila. So, okay. So I'm listening to Tony, and I'm like, okay. I finally hit him up, and I'm like, Tony, what in the hell is you talking about? You keep talking this stuff. All I need to know is how can what you saying help me? Because my reason for even starting to do this business is because taxes was kicking my butt. I had a kid. It didn't cure everything.
Right.
You know, I still was having to have them take additional money out of my check. So when I talked to Tony, he explained to me that when you have a home-based business, similar to YouTube, Jessica, she said you're a YouTuber, you know, you open the door to deductions, write-offs, however you want to put it. So when he explained that to me, that things that I do every day could now be a deduction if it's used for business purposes, you know, that got my attention quick. I'm like, okay,
like, what?
I'm all up in the
tell me some more.
So I'm like, so what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
So basically I joined the business, which back then it was $179 to get started. And when he said 179, I was like, I knew it. I knew it was some mess in the game.
Get me.
I said, I got to pay you $179 a month. He was like, no, one time. I was like, oh, okay, I can do one time. So then, you know, he told me it was gonna be $34.95 a month. But with that $34.95, I was getting my own website. I was gonna have access to all of the things that people need financially to make good financial decisions. I was gonna have the cash flow manager to help me track my expenses, because the expenses is the key. You can have deductions. Okay, Jessica says, yes, I get a tax break for my YouTube and my dividends and tax at a lower rate. That's what I'm talking about. So
Good.
it sounds like to me, you don't need to be in the audience. You need to be up here teaching. That's
That's
what that
right.
sounds like. You
That's
need to be up
right.
here sharing information, Miss
Yeah.
Jessica.
Yeah.
But to see people like me was out there, and I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I was 40 years old when I started this business. Old enough that my tail should have knew all of the bad choices I was making. But it's like until somebody points it out to you, a lot of times you don't even look at it that way.
Right.
So when I joined the business, first thing I did, I updated my W-4 because now I'm not just a W-2 employee. I'm a 1099, whatever that means. At this point, I don't even know what that means.
Okay,
Like,
Melissa, right there. Let's stop right there because it may be some people, it could be thousands of people out there that don't know what the purpose of the W-4. They hear you throwing this word out there. I'm gonna tell y'all, you got to know the definition of some of these terms, which we don't
right,
know, business deductions, write-offs. She was talking about that, but the purpose of the W-4, everybody that starts a job, it's actually in the top heading of the form that they give you at your job. The purpose of the W-4 is to tell the employer how much to withhold from your pay. Anytime your personal or financial situation changes, it is up to you, the employee, to make those adjustments. And the purpose of it is if you start a job, if you have a baby, you had a death in the family, somebody get married, somebody bought a house, somebody lose some hours in pay, it is up to you to fill it out the right way, right?
right,
Okay.
right. And see, I had no idea. I didn't realize what the questions meant because usually when you get this W-4, they're gonna ask you stuff like, "Are you single or married? Do you have any dependents, meaning someone you can claim? Can anybody else claim you?" Stuff like that. Now I knew how to answer those questions, but I didn't know if it was a trick to it
Right.
or why. It's the why. The why is what keeps a lot of people from doing what they need to know. They know what they're told to do, but they don't know why they're told to do it. So I
Absolutely.
never knew before starting this business that I could determine how much taxes were going to be taken out of my check. And honestly, at that point, I thought Tony was lying because I'm like, I ain't never heard nobody say they could tell people, tell
Right.
their job how much
Right.
taxes they're going to pay.
Yeah.
But
Who do
then
you think you are?
I had to get the full picture. He was basically saying you can tell them how much to take out, but at the end, either you're gonna break even, you're gonna owe, or you're gonna get money back. Because taxes, when you get a refund, it's just that them giving you your money back. I didn't even know that. 40
Mm,
years old now.
mm.
I'm thinking the tax money was like a bonus from the job. It ain't nothing but money that y'all done kept all year
Right.
that I could have been using. Well, in my case, I ain't had that scenario because I ain't getting nothing back.
Right.
But
You know what?
so
I hate that we don't have, like, in 2006, no, 12 or 16, the IRS came out with a form saying that there are
that
over 101 million employees that are overpaying on their taxes, and they could be using, and they gave us a better scenario. They say if most employees knew how to fill that W-4 form out correctly, they could possibly pay down debt or put money in savings or invest it, and they would get a better rate of return. See, they did that in little bitty writing. And I was like, man, why do they not teach that stuff in school? Because now I understand that a capitalist society wants your tax dollars. They don't want you to hold on to it. They want to hold on to it, and then possibly you can get some of your money back by you not understanding how it all works.
exactly. Okay, Jessica, I'm telling you, she in the wrong spot. She don't need to be down there. She need to be up here. She says, yes, in my first job, I found this out and I adjusted my taxes with my tax withholding because I wanted more of my money
There
back
you
during
go.
the year
That's it, Jesse. That's it. That's it.
so that I could pay off debt.
Wow.
Man,
Jesse, own it. But you know what, Jessica?
no,
I ain't going to lie. Here's what excites me. There are 100 million people that don't know this, and our business was created off of folks that don't know it. So I'm telling you, what you learning right now, you could actually share that with a couple of more people. And this is what we're talking about, multiple streams of income, because our business is based on knowledge, the financial empowerment, the stuff that you already know. We teach this, and that's why we're on here today. And that's awesome that you got this information early. Now, if you don't mind, I guess you don't supposed to ask a young lady how old she is, but like Melissa said, she was 40 years old and didn't know this stuff.
Well, I'm thinking she must have learned it early, because she says, correction, her first job out of college, aka her first big girl job. That still means that she caught this information while she was young. That is something that we try to that's why we try to get the information out to younger people. Because Jessica, if you were in college, you know how it was. I remember being in school and they had this big table stood out with all these credit card applications. And, I'm like, I work at Taco Bell. I don't make a lot of money, but you want to give me a $10,000 credit limit? Okay.
Free money. That's free money.
Everybody filling the thing out. I got the cards. Of course, I ran the cards up. I messed up my credit. They didn't care about that. She says, I'm a 90s baby, if they help. Okay. See, we 70s babies. So if you a 90s baby, you're a
baby.
You're not old, baby. She said, I'm old. No, you're not old. When you talk to the 70s, baby, you're not old.
Yeah, we got some weight on it.
Right. So a lot of kids make that same mistake because, and people who are the vendors and stuff, they don't care whether you can pay or not, because they don't get the money back out of you either way, some kind of way. So I fell victim to that early, which meant by the time I finished college, my credit was already bad, because they gave me credit coming in the door that I couldn't afford to do. And plus, I didn't have the background information. I didn't know a lot about credit. I just knew if you get a credit card, you can buy stuff and you can pay on it. That's all I need.
Yeah, pay on it. Yeah, put something on it.
But nobody told me about interest fees. Nobody told me about all that extra that could come along with it and how it could damage my credit, and later I wouldn't be able to get things. So, that was the part I needed to know. So that's why with this business, we try to speak. I was talking to my daughter the other day, and I can only hold her attention when I'm talking about this stuff for about 30 minutes. Then her eyes start to glaze over, and she ain't hearing nothing else I'm saying.
Right.
So I try to pack what I can in while she's listening.
Yeah.
Let's see what Jessica said. She said, I think folks aren't disciplined. I think folks that aren't disciplined can withhold more taxes and use it like a savings. But I'm pretty disciplined, so I changed things so I could get more money. You know what? And see, that's the thing, Jessica. I think a lot of people were like I was and didn't understand how the whole tax thing worked. Because the example I gave the other week was like, you're treating this like it's gonna be this big bonus on the job at the end of the year. So that means that during the year, you're sacrificing, you're spending more money. In the economy we have now, I think it's gonna be a lot more credit card usage because of inflation. So at this point, you are trying to rob Peter to pay Paul to make it from month to month so that you can get this big payoff in January. So, and people think of it as like, a reward. So what we try to show people is, if like by history, that every year you get a big tax return. Don't let that, because what they're using is the government is taking their money, investing it, making money off your money, and they're not gonna give you what they made off of it. They're gonna give you what they owe you. So in essence, you're giving them a interest-free loan while you sitting here trying to make things work. It's March and you telling me something. Well, when I get my taxes done, I'm gonna pay this off, take that money and pay off the things you need to pay off now. And you bring up a good point too, Jessica, when you say discipline. That was something I had to learn, because when I first started with this company, and I went from being just a 9-to-5 and having a business, that changed with that W-4 update. I started bringing home an additional $400 per paycheck. Now I get paid twice a month. So that's $800 a month that I was bringing home.
Right.
That's where the discipline comes in, because just because now I have this new money, you still have to know what to do with it.
What to do.
So the business that we do, it teaches you how to eliminate debt, how to improve your credit, all the things that now that you have this money in your hand. Because if somebody help you bring more money home and you don't know how to spend it wisely, you're still gonna be in the same boat.
Hey, it's a definite, like you talk about the curse of the lottery. It's really like money does not come with instructions, right? So people will perish for a lack of knowledge and understanding about how money works. If somebody gave you something, you ain't gonna know what to do with it when you get it. So our system is set up to help you understand when you get a few extra dollars, go ahead and apply it towards something that's gonna benefit you later on down the road. And that's what this business is about.
Right. So I think she said, I'm glad you both are doing this work. Good job. We need more people. We do need more people to know. And you know what, the biggest thing is, I think people are, when it comes to money, number one, and I can understand it, you don't want to be quick to talk about your finances, especially with a stranger that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? But with our business, what we do, it's called My Econ. And why it's called My Econ is because it's my economy. So Tony and I may have started this business for totally different reasons. I know for me, it was the taxes. So getting an extra $800 a month, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. You know, but just because I started having a business, because he explained to me, you know, your cell phone, you're using your cell phone for business. A portion of it now can be written off. Then he talked about utilities and rent and all that other stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute though. So why would they give me, that'd be a write-off? And he explained, because you are using these things for your business. If you are a home-based business owner and you do your business out of your home, you can't write off your entire home. But the way it's set up, whatever portion that you use for business, then that becomes a deduction. So everybody's amount that they're able to write off on things is not going to be the same, because it depends on your situation, the space you live in, how much your bills are, this, that, and the other. But the principle is the same principles that Trump used for years, that every other rich American has used for years. We can use those same principles, of course, on a much, much smaller scale.
Right.
Because we ain't got that kind of money. But it's there for everybody. And one of my pet peeves is, and I tell Tony this all the time, I hate when people start talking about, well, that ain't for us. We don't get to do that. I'm like, who is us? Because I'm not a us. I am a me. And what I found out is, when they wrote the publications for the IRS, they ain't put no color on it. They didn't put no background on it. They didn't put no limitation by state on it. Anybody in America that wants to start a home-based business is able to do so. And they have the same privileges. Of course, they have to do it appropriately, but they have the same privileges as everyone else. Okay, she said she got it. Thank you, Jessica, for joining us. She said she enjoyed it.
Okay.
Gotta run. Thank you for the video. Have a lovely night. So at least we had some folks to talk to tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I think people are so afraid to try things. But then, it's like you have to kind of show them how it works, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think out of fear and confusion, a lot of people don't move on business opportunities because of it's not being taught in school. Like, well, why ain't everybody doing that? Well, it's really your choice how you make your money. You know what I'm saying? I said, you got to figure out what side of the tax system you want to be on. And I had to think about that myself. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I can make a whole bunch of money, but I'm still going to owe a bunch of taxes. So I need to learn the tax side of things so I don't have to overpay. Like, they always talk about some of the top companies in the world, that are like Walmart. Do you not think that those people have taxes they have to pay out? And sometimes they don't pay no taxes and they get a big refund back. So why would you think your little self with your little $100,000, your little $200,000 gonna have to pay a bunch of taxes and you don't have to if you understand how the tax system works, right?
And that's the biggest thing, understanding it. And what I liked about my econ is they broke it down to a level where the average Joe, like myself, because I consider myself an average Joe when it comes to finances, could understand.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So
That's true.
we share this information every week. If anybody is interested in learning how to start a home-based business like the one we have, or if you already have a business, but you don't know what you don't know, and you might be leaving money on the table with
Right.
your own business. Like I'm sure
Yes.
there are a lot of YouTubers out there that get a lot of people that watch them. They have, all of this stuff, and they're getting money from the views, the clicks and views. That's great. But that YouTube show also empowers you to be able to write off some things that can put even more money in your
Right.
hand.
But listen, let's give a call to action. Like last year, it was some people that started our business in like November and December that had home-based businesses and didn't know this information. So what
Right.
happens is with the taxes is you can go back to January 1 if you've had some type of business and reconstruct the money that you spent out, like your cell
Right.
phone. You know what your cell phone bill was in January. Like you
Right.
took a vacation, you went to meet a client, you knew what y'all ate at the restaurant. So it's a lot of the things before you get your taxes done. Call me or Melissa, and we can get you on the right track, because you can actually claim some deductions and going back to January of 2024 and bring all of those deductions back. That's going to help you with your taxes. So, I mean, that's really big. And I say, always talk to your tax preparer and say, hey, look, I have a business. I've been doing this for a look. Here's some of my expenses. Don't leave that money on the table, because that's your money that you're giving away if you don't bring it forward.
Right. Now, for the average YouTuber, I would think your cell phone, a lot of people go live from your cell phone. That is a business expense. If you're using your phone, if you have to buy computer equipment, ring lights, microphones, all of the things that go with you having a successful channel.
Right.
Then on top of that, you got apps. When I made the background for this video, I went on Canva. Canva it's a free app, but you have more access to more things if you get the paid version. So I get the paid version, I put that on my taxes as a write-off because I'm using Canva to operate my business. Same thing with StreamYard. There's been a lot of talk with people that are looking for different vendors because StreamYard went up on their pricing. Now, I might be joining them. I ain't gonna lie. But it is an expense that I have written off for the last 3 years that I've had it, because I'm using it to conduct business. So if you have just those few things that we've named, if you weren't counting them as deductions when you did your taxes, you were leaving money on the table.
Yep. But look, I'm gonna tell you this right here. Don't y'all go get the line about that deduction that y'all have. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's people that's on Facebook and TikTok that's making money, and they don't realize that. Look, you was in your house, you was on vacation doing all these dances and juking and selling stuff. They sending you a check. That's a 1099. You should be writing off your money to keep most of that money instead of owing. You need to have some type of tracking system. Look, we got all of the software that you need. We even have a tax prep business inside of My Econ that's going to help you, right? And you can actually get monetized with that, because imagine if you got friends that need their taxes done and you refer them to Viral Tax inside of our company, you get paid. That's what it's all about. You sharing some information, you have created a business, and you have all of the software, and you got access to services and products that people need.
Right.
That's all. I'm gonna tell you, we got the win-win business, and all you gotta do is just lock in. We're gonna show you everything you need to know.
So if you are listening to this and you don't have a business, and your question is like the question I had once Tony gave me this whole spiel about the business, and I'm sitting there like, but what kind of business am I gonna do? Because I'm sitting up there listening, everything he was saying was good, but I'm like, I ain't good at nothing. What kind of business I'm gonna have? And that's when he said, this is the business. So if you don't already have a business and you're sitting there thinking, oh, this sounds good, but what kind of business am I going to start? You can start a business doing what we're doing. You don't have to do it exactly the way we do it. We choose to get on here and act a fool sometimes and entertain y'all, but in the same time give you information. But you don't have to hit a live button to do anything. You can share the information via text, via posts on social media, any kind of way. We are in the age of technology, and a lot of this technology is free. There's free advertising for you. So the biggest thing about it is not only do you learn how to spend, better ways to spend money, what is it, the credit information, we get investment information, but you can make money just from referring people to the business. Just for, if for instance, somebody is listening to this and they decide they want to sign up tonight, tomorrow they go to work at their 9 to 5 and tell 5 people about it, and they're like, I'm down. You just started a whole team and you don't even know what you're doing yet. But the fact of the matter is there are enough people inside of our business and the networking possibilities, you can't put a price on it.
That's right.
We have had networking opportunities where we've sat down and had lunch with millionaires.
Oh yeah.
I told you Naya was like, she didn't even get it because but last time we met Mr. Stokes, and I was like, I bet you none of your other friends in middle school can say they had lunch with a millionaire. She was like, he was a millionaire? I was like, yes. So it's like, we have access to people that in so many different businesses. Like Tony, he's in automobile. What would you call your industry? Just automotive?
Automotive, yeah.
Automotive. I'm in healthcare. We got people who are who work at McDonald's. We got people who are janitors. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in.
Right.
Like I said, when they say this is not for us, I don't know who the us is they're talking about.
I know, right? Hey, you said something right there. I'm trying to figure out who don't want to save money, like on your car note, your cell phone bill, the gas, the food you eat, the vacations you take. I want to know the people that don't want to save some money on that stuff, because I'm just totally floored when people say, well, I don't, that ain't for me. Well, keep overpaying, because that's what you're doing. If the government is saying we're going to give you some money back and you don't take it, you think it's a trick? You think it's a scheme? You think it's a scam?
Some people might, but then, everything we do is backed by publications from the IRS. If we tell you you can hire your child, we're going to send you to publication 15 and let you look it up and see exactly where they see it. If we tell you it's going to cover your, what's another publication? Was it 463?
Yeah, 463.
If we do, and that one, is that for travel?
Yep. Travel is in there. Yeah.
So if we tell you you can pay for travel, you don't have to take our word for it. We're going to send you to the publication where you can read it for yourself. That's what this business is about. It's about teaching people how to be in charge of their own finances. And like Tony said, now we're offering the tax preparation business. That's one of the biggest issues that you come across. Right. We have lost so many people that started this business when tax season came around. Yep. And I'm not bashing the tax preparers. In medicine, everybody has a specialty. You might be an ear, nose, and throat guy. You might be a OBGYN. Right. Everybody has their specialty. It takes people who understand taxes for home-based businesses to really be able to help you with that. If you're dealing with somebody that's used to dealing with people that have a 9-to-5 job and that's their average customer, they might have to go do some research to see, I don't know if you can write this off or not.
They ain't gonna do it.
Right. So a lot of people go to their tax preparer after being in the business. They tell them, oh, no, you can't do this. So then they're sitting here looking at us like they want to come back and whoop our ass, and we done told them all this stuff that they can do. But this is their tax person that they trust. And I'm not saying you shouldn't trust them, but all tax preparers are not created equal.
Right.
So that's something to think about too. If we're offering that service through our company, you got to know whoever's doing the tax preparing is going to be knowledgeable on home-based business.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give y'all some accolades about this business. It's going on 20 years that my econ has been in business. It has an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. It has cash flowed over $1 billion, and it is technology based. So everything that we're teaching y'all right now, the company's been around too long to do bad business. So we
Right.
already know. We met the founders, we met the people inside of the business. So we know that it's a reputable company. So if you want to do your research, go ahead. But I'm telling you, these people are doing business the right way.
Right. And if you heard this and you do feel like, because everybody's not ready for an opportunity at the same time.
Yeah.
You might have to hear it 2 or 3 times before you feel like it makes sense. But I will ask you to do this. Please share this information with somebody else. If you see this video, hit the share button. It don't cost you nothing to share. Please subscribe. I got Tony's YouTube page pinned at the top. Yeah, we've been trying to get him to his
1,000.
1,000
We're
people.
gonna get there. I
We're gonna
believe
get
it.
there.
We're gonna get there.
So if you're under the sound of my voice and you got the ability to tap subscribe on your phone or your computer, please subscribe to the Tony Clopton Show. He shares good information. He was the person who introduced me to this business. He's taught me more about money and finances and home-based business than I could have learned from somebody who was teaching it in college, because obviously the folks who taught in college, it didn't stick.
Right.
So yeah, please share this opportunity. If you're interested, Tony and I are both on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Tony, look up Tony Clopton or look up Melissa King. We're both on YouTube. So if you are interested in getting more information, just reach out to us. We ain't gonna worry you to death about it. You know, if it's for you, it's for you. But I will say this: I would not let the opportunity to get more of my money back in my pockets pass me by. And these next 4 years, all I'm gonna say is it's gonna be important to know how you can keep more of your money. It ain't what you make, it's what you keep. And I don't know how much you're gonna be able to keep with all the changes we got coming. I don't even know what they are, but I know with this business, I'm prepared to understand what I need to do to stay on the right side of the money conversation.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank y'all for joining us. Tony, will you give us some, Professor Clopton, will you give us some final words of wisdom, please?
Yes. This is applied information. You can't sit on this information and think it's going to just seep into your system. You got to get in there, dive in there, and start applying it to your personal situation. And you will watch transformations happen, especially sharing it with other people. That's where the true blessing about this business come into play. So let's share information about taxes, how credit works, how to write off your lifestyle, how to get wealthy using your own money and passing down that generational wealth. That's what this business is all about.
Exactly. And as always, I appreciate you coming here and hanging out with me, Fessel. Next Thursday, we're going to be on your spot.
We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
All right. Well, y'all, Jessica, thank you for coming through. Sheila, Miss Sheila, I saw her here. Thank you for coming through. If anybody's watching on Facebook, I can't see the Facebook comments. Oh, they go at Deanna coming in at the end, girl. She said, hey, Melissa and Tony.
Share the live. Share the live. This was a good one.
Yeah, this was a good one. But that was she just reminded me. I got to follow up on that the land thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When I saw her name, it just reminded me that I got some follow-up work I need to do. But Deanna, thanks for coming through. Please share. And catch the replay. We talking about taxes. You might know somebody that needs to know somebody that knows something about taxes.
That's right. That's right.
She said, I'm just logging back on. Okay, yeah, hit the rewind, but we've been here now for almost an hour, so
time to go.
We didn't bore the folks to tears, probably. But, it was for a good reason. We trying to put some money in your pocket. To me, what better reason to listen to folks talk?
Right.
But anyway, we will see you guys next week at Tony's spot. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and until next time.
All right. Thank you.
Let me see if I can get us out of here. Okay. Is my computer gonna participate? So far, I don't see no participation. Computer. Let me hit the button over here. Maybe that'll be it.
Thanks for tuning in. Are you ready to start your home-based business? If your answer is yes, contact Melissa or Tony and get started today.